showing up and responding as the whole and healed version of ourselves in every moment of every day, embodying the energy of the wish fulfilled, is a high level spiritual practice. Because when we start moving through our day and responding to whatever is happening in our external circumstances from end state energy, from the energy and identity of the wish fulfilled, we are truly claiming to the universe that we already have what we desire. And that is so powerful. And yet, it is a practice and a skill set that requires great awareness, consistency, and persistence. Because when you make a bold statement to the universe and you claim, I am now whole and healed, and I am going to show up as such, everything within you, any resistance or any upper limits or any blockages that remain to be cleared, are going to come up in order for you to self-define and prove it. Now, this is not the universe testing us as much as it is clearing away old debris, old energy, because anything that's showing up in our external environment is actually just an echo of the past. It's old energy, how we were before. And so, in order to really quantum leap or collapse timelines or to propel ourselves forward on our transformation or healing journey, of course, we have to be able to jump those hurdles and we have to be able to embody this new version of ourselves. And this is really a high level practice because it's very tempting and sometimes easy to go back to the automatic way of being we were in before, what feels safe and comfortable, what is known to us. And a lot of times, if we haven't done a lot of nervous system regulation work, our body gets activated and we get very triggered, and then we become very reactive and impulsive, and we just automatically go back into those old stories and old narratives in the mental energy, and our body dysregulates and we get all of that urgency and restlessness, and there's a lot of discomfort, and so immediately we want to feel better and so we go back into those habituated ways of being. But all hope is not lost because we can learn to build capacity in our nervous system. And one of the ways we do that is actually by using our imagination. And we can use our audio tracks to be able to visualize ourselves in this new identity and regulate around that, and how it would feel if we really did show up as someone who was whole and healed and abundant and living um, their living their purpose and showing up as confident and worthy and lovable, and all of the attributes that would be present in the higher level version of ourselves. And we can do a lot of practicing around this too, because life is always going to give us opportunities for contrast. That's the beauty of it, is that we will have plenty of opportunities to self-define. And the more that we're able in those moments to stay embodied in the energy of the higher level version of ourselves and respond from that place, the thoughts, the beliefs, the actions, the energy, all of it, of that higher level version of us, that is when we solidify energetically that we are no longer that old version of ourselves. and we have stepped into a place of certainty and knowing that we have what we desire. We're already there. We have it now. And a lot of times we're feeling that internal shift. And when we're doing all of these practices that we've been doing throughout these weeks, the stepstones that we've been taking, we really are building our belief around this new identity. And we're regulating our nervous systems around this new identity. And we're taking aligned and inspired actions from this new identity. And that's what embodiment is all about. That is the meat and potatoes of it. And so being able to be so present in our bodies and to be really grounded and rooted and oriented to the present moment while our while we're holding the vision for ourselves and showing up as that person, that is where true transformation occurs. And we just have to continue to show up and practice again and again. Now, welcome back, everybody. We are in week 6, and we are talking all about embodying the energy and identity of our higher selves. And this week, we have been talking about how we actually do that, because it is sometimes difficult to know what it would feel like or how somebody in that energy would respond. And so some of this is really sitting down with ourselves, journaling things out, using our most powerful transformation tool, which is our imagination, really practicing the art of visualization where we see ourselves already in the end scene, already as that person. And we get really comfortable in that energy where the more we practice visualizing and using our imagination and listening to our audio tracks so that we can really solidify with certainty that we already are that person, the easier it is for us in those moments when our 3D circumstances or our outer reality would want to try and convince us otherwise. So, this has been a practice for me this week. I've had some things coming up, which initially was really throwing me for a loop until I realized that the more contrast that's showing up, that actually is an indicator of progress and growth. And as much discomfort as I was feeling, I started to realize that I'm on that growth edge and that obviously everything is just about to break through. And I'm just at that tipping point. And so instead of trying to shy away from that energy or, kind of going back into those old patterns or stories, I really leaned into discomfort. And I was just like, I'm just going to allow myself to feel this discomfort, to lean into all these feelings and this reactivity and all this contrast that's showing up. And I'm not going to allow it to convince me that the internal shifts that I have been feeling with certainty are not happening, because I have just been feeling so clear and so focused and so certain that I am now this higher level version of me, this whole heart Wiley version of me. I have been so consistent in showing up for myself, trusting myself, listening to my intuition. I have disengaged from distraction. I have really been centered in myself and showing up for myself and following through on the commitments I've made to myself and really being with all of the old thoughts, the beliefs, the stories. I've been journaling like crazy. Anytime something comes up that feels out of alignment with the higher level version of me or feels like old programming or patterning, I immediately just start journaling it out and I allow myself to express and to sit in those feelings and to really allow them to be there without pushing them away. I have been doing my 3-point check-in. I've been really checking in with myself during the day to see where I'm at and see what's going on with me in my mind, in my emotions, and in my body. And so I have been doing the work, and I've been doing it consistently from a place of kindness and curiosity, not judgment or criticism. And I have felt the shift. Truly. I I feel the alignment. I will be back on Friday as we wrap up this 6th week talking all about embodiment. Stay strong, my friends. We just have to keep showing up. And if you find yourself faltering, go back and revisit those early weeks. Those are the foundational skills and tools. Just commit and go back and just show up again and again. Lower the noise, disconnect from distraction, reinforce your self trust, listen to your own inner knowing, do those practices and take those steps to reorient yourself. You won't regret it. And you can always go down and you can download my free audio if you need a touchstone to return to yourself in those moments when the outer reality would want to try and pull you back into the old self. All right, take care, everybody.